how is the cat herding going? And the most commonly I get asked, are you okay? As somebody in here can probably relate to that, maybe. Being the LNC chair is probably, as I've said to someone earlier, way better than being the DNC or the RNC chair, which I would never actually do. So I'll take this over that for sure. But being the LNC chair or the chair of any LP affiliate, as many people in this room can probably attest, is really nothing at all like herding cats, but it is exactly like herding porcupines. And whether those porcupines are of the West Coast, the best coast, or of the New England variety, or the sweet and salty Southern variety, or the Midwesterners, which I think we've had 2 in this building probably this weekend, or even down to our newest, tiniest addition to the porcupine family in the Conch Republic. That would be Stephen Nikala's baby. We're all porcupines, different cultures, different flavors, different personalities, and different vibes. But we all bristle when we perceive a threat, and we all fiercely defend what we value. For all of us and our candidates, it's pretty simple. If the proposal is to expand government or increase taxes or infringe on personal liberty, you can be damn sure we're against it. That doesn't change. And we all came to this from somewhere for some reason, and we all defend and promote liberty in our own different ways. I was never part of any other political party, though I did sign lots of petitions to get non-duopoly candidates on ballots. I was always politically homeless. And as an educator in a public school system for 20 years, I was undoubtedly alone in my political ideology. In the early 2000s, when I was working on my first master's degree, I was thrust into the libertarian mindset through my research into the USA Patriot Act, which is a horrifying piece of legislation that led me here. And it still took about 8 years or so for me to actually make the connection for reasons. Some of which personal, and some because the infrastructure of my party in Texas at the time just wasn't really dealing well with newcomers, and that has since changed. Eventually, 10 years ago, a badass young Texas libertarian lady, and I'm sure you all could probably think of a couple of those, brought me in from the storm, and the rest is history. Earlier this week in the faraway land of New York, our beloved Larry Sharp declared his bid for governor. Yes. Thank you. And he was promptly endorsed by Forward Party, which is a clear sign that someone other than the LP has been listening to the people. They want another option. They can no longer abide the corrupt, tyrannical, authoritarian two-party system that has stunted us socially and politically and financially for generations. And this endorsement of Larry also shows that even those who may not identify as libertarians yet see what we've done and what we're doing, and they realize that the only way to get the change they want, or the change any of us want, is through us, that we are the way to it. And it indicates that the lane for third-party candidates is definitely widening, and this week's actions whet the appetite for coalition building and for promoting non-duopoly candidates where we need them most. What the people want is to be heard and appropriately represented through an open democratic process. And I realize that some libertarians bristle a little bit when they hear the word democratic process, myself included. It effectuates a majority rule, mob rule situation, which none of us really care for. But in this particular case, I am actually beyond encouraged by the news of this outside support for Larry, because as long as there is government, we're gonna have to fight it from within. And we have to be the majority. Many among us are gonna pucker a little bit at this crossover support coming in and get a little panicky. Are we pandering? Are we compromising? Are we losing ourselves, our identity? Are we betraying our principles? I'm not. Are you? I damn sure don't think Larry Sharp is. So from where I stand, I see this not just as an opportunity to capitalize on support from those who see what we are doing as righteous and meaningful and impactful and even moral, but I see it as an opportunity for us to be dutiful, to light the way for those who also believe in freedom and in voter choice and in personal responsibility, and to lead the way for those who are actively seeking to eradicate tyranny no matter what form it takes. So what is it that keeps voters from checking the boxes next to our names every cycle? Well, for one thing, they want to know that victory is possible by plurality, but they also want to be able to vote their conscience. And we can help them with both of those. We're already providing them choices, but we also need to be providing them with the mechanism by which they can risk taking that choice. And this is why we need to be at the forefront, pushing the advanced voting methods like ranked choice voting, as you see out there, or approval voting, or whatever works for you. My father was the first anarchist I ever knew. And though he would never identify as such, even today, it was very clear in the way he lived his life and in the way he raised me. Today, he is a supporter of the LP, and he comes to our conventions. My children and their friends, all well into voting age at this point, wear all of the swag that I bring home, the hats and the shirts and the lanyards or whatever it is I bring home from all of my engagements around the country for the party. I hear them talk. It is very clear that they're libertarians. Whether or not they'll ever agree that they've adopted their mom's party, doesn't matter. I know how they vote. So for me, this is a family affair. And I've seen at least 2 examples here this weekend of multi-generational engagement at this event. And I would love to see more. And if you'll indulge me for a moment, if any of you are here with your children or your parents or your grandparents, please stand up or make some noise or something and let us love on you for a minute. Thank you. I know there are more. I've seen them around. That's beautiful. Together, the Libertarian Party can re-energize those, the young, the old, the lost, the marginalized. We can do this by differentiating ourselves with positivity. And we can reset the tone for American politics by engaging professionally and dispassionately. We don't have to talk about what we're against if people understand what we're for. We don't have to surrender our self-defense or our privacy. None of us want that. We must not allow ourselves to be aggressed upon, and we must not cross the line to become aggressors. Don't take that bait. My first, and so far, only official act at a national convention was to craft an 11-word platform plank that reportedly received the highest favorable approval ratio in history. I haven't checked the historical record, but I have no reason not to trust the people who told me that. Back in 2016, in Orlando, that was my first national convention. We were out there and sort of struggling through the platform proposals, and we're a little bit hung up on one particular plank. And people were fatigued, and amendments were offered and rejected, and the questions were called, and the appetite for the plank was just sort of fading. And I had committed personally to a friend and colleague in Texas that I would promote and stand for and fight for a death penalty plank at this convention. And so I sat down and scribbled 11 words on a napkin from the hotel and showed it to 2 distinguished colleagues in Texas and to another avid platform devotee from another state, and was ushered up to the microphone. And just like that, without any amendments, and 80% or so approval, we adopted a death penalty plank. And to this day, I receive expressions of gratitude for that. And I have made friendships, very deep, lifelong friendships over that act right there. And that positivity it motivates me to stick around to see what else we can do, despite all of the difficulties that we have. We like to think that Americans are tired of the same old parties. The polls tell us that they are. The polls tell us that 75% of Americans are dissatisfied with the state of the country right now. So they're dissatisfied with the state that they over and over and over and over again put us in. We as libertarians, with each election cycle, we gear up with that mindset that this is our year. This is that pivotal moment when the stars are going to align and everything is going to change for us, finally. There's a Californian, I don't know Brody, and I don't know if Brody is here, but Brody had a piece in Pledge News a while back, and one of the things that Brody said was that the old party approach is problematic because it is forceful and it purports to do the impossible. And another wise man recently said to me that politics is the art of the possible. And this is where we come in. We shouldn't be going around telling people we have all the solutions, because we don't. If you know me, you know that I've said, you probably have heard me say multiple times, I don't know what it is, but I know what it ain't. And what we can do is we can make sure that we offer the genuine acknowledgement that government is not the answer, that they don't have all the answers, and that they are not the solution, and it doesn't know best. And we can point to evidence of that fact. We can also point to evidence that the government's use of force, as well as the use of force in general amongst ourselves, promotes and provokes resentment, deliberate noncompliance, and an attitude of uncooperativeness. One side or the other refuses to back down or even negotiate toward a win-win, not even a compromise, but a win-win. They just don't want it. We see this now abroad, all over the world. We see this out in the United States, in our own communities, and sadly, we see this within our own organization. When people are misled or ill-informed about the problems they wish to solve, the use of force to address those problems magnifies the harm that's done. And while we work to find our sea legs in this changing tide, both internally and externally, we need to remember that we have elected leaders out there carrying the torch for us. Representative Marshall Burt in Wyoming, Supervisor Hewitt here in California. Ashley Shade, City Councilor in Massachusetts. Yes. And the highest ranking libertarian we've had in Congressman Justin Amash of Michigan. Obviously, there are many, many more, some of them even here, who deserve and to whom we owe our gratitude and respect, always. And as of this past November, we're up to 355 elected libertarians nationwide. And for this reason, we must live to fight another day. We must stick with this, like the legends, some of whom are in this room and have been with us this weekend. Another question I often get is, why do you do this? Why do you keep doing this? And my answer is simple. I can't quit, I can't walk away, because they didn't. The legends. And I'm willing to bet that everyone here right now could identify a living libertarian legend within, I don't know, a CDC recommended 6 feet. Maybe expand it out to 10 and you might catch 2. But I want you to go ahead and take a minute to do that and identify a living libertarian legend in this room, because they're all over the country and you guys have a bunch of them. Some of yours actually moved to Texas, so I'll get them in a couple more soon. Seriously, shake their hands. Tell them thank you for their activism, for their shoe leather, for their blood, sweat, and tears, for their money. Maybe you recall a moment, something they did or said that impacted you or that impacted the party in some way. Take a moment and share that with them. And commit to the legend before you, or beside you, or around you that you might see in the hallway, that you will continue building on their legacy to see a world set free in our lifetime. They say that the porcupine is the longest living rodent. Make what you will of that. Some of you will be offended. Some of you might wear that as a badge of honor. So you do you. But the bottom line is, we are all still alive as porcupines. And it has taken us 50 years to get here. 350 plus electeds out there right now. I can't wait to see what they continue to do. I can't wait to see the new seeds that they're planting, what they become, what they grow into. And it may take 50 more years for us to realize our own personal goals, the things that we're putting our effort into and the effort of our colleagues. But I'll be here for it. And I can assure you, though, that no matter which goals we accomplish, we will likely never, sadly, have the luxury to back down from our commitment to challenge the cult of the omnipotent state. LP California, it has been an honor and a privilege. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's have another round of applause for Whitney. So I need a secretary, I need a parliamentarian, I need a vice chair, I need peeps in the room. Did you lose your phone? Does it look like this? I've made about a half dozen announcements. Aha. No, I was making it before that. We found it like a couple hours ago, or 3 hours ago. Even though they're not stapled. Are they signed in name on both sheets? Okay, we're almost ready to get back in session. We still got work ahead of us. We have less time to do it, but we will get it done. So, I don't know where the vice chair is, but we can actually start without her because at this moment I don't need to pass the gavel. So, up, see her. Okay. I'm calling us back to order at 12:12. The first order of business is that we do have election results for the last election. So for Northern Area Coordinator, the vote is 31 for Adrian F. Malagon, 23 for Mark Kinkle. Adrian wins. Congratulations. Okay. What? In a minute. For what? My phone. Oh, it is, again, for anybody that missed that, and I should also mention there was no notes for VOTA, or no votes for NOTA, not no notes for VOTA. So again, it was Malagon 31, Hinkle 23, NOTA 0. And can I get the final updated credentials report, please?
Point of personal privilege.
Yes, sir.
I believe I need to update the accuracy of the spelling on my list for delegate with the secretary.
For national delegate?
Yes.
Okay, we can note that. Keep in mind, there have been several ballots already cast, but is your name close?
Tom Nichols versus Tomas Nicholson.
Do we have a Tomas Nicholson?
I checked, and we did not.
No, I just wanted to make sure we didn't have a Tomas Nicholson. Is there a Tomas? Okay. You know what? We'll, could you look in the end and see if there's a Tomas Nicholson just to make sure that we have the right person? Do you know which list you were on for?
I know it was number 62. I don't know which list. On the 92 list.
And Nicholson instead of Nichols? I do not know what happened, but we will note on the master copy that all votes for Thomas Nicholson are you, that have already been cast.
Okay.
And we will also note for anybody in the room to please correct that spelling if you have not yet cast your vote. And I apologize for that. It hadn't been brought to our attention previous, so I apologize. And I don't know what happened.
Thank
If
you.
you're on the 92 list, we took those straight from the website downloads, so I can look into that, but we can deal with that offline. But for everybody in the room, please note that if you're voting for Thomas Nicholson, you're actually voting for Tom Nichols.
Thank you.
And I apologize. Okay, so where we're at now is at the next election, and that will be for Central Area Coordinator. It will be done the same as the Northern Area Coordinator. Somebody from from that area nominates, and then it will be a 5-minute nominating speech or second combination and a 5-minute speech from the candidate. So I'm opening nomination. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm first waiting for one more thing, which is, do we have that count? That's what I just said, is do we have that count? Well, we won't be actually voting until we have gotten that, but can I start taking nominations? I believe I can. I can start taking nominations without updating because we won't be voting. Okay, so we're going to open up nominations. We will update that count, but at this moment we're not voting on anything. And I believe the count only went up by a few people. So I am opening nominations from the floor for Central Area Coordinator.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules,
Okay?
to hear a resolution.
Can you wait until we start voting? That would be the perfect time for it.
Okay, thank you. I just
mind?
wanted to sort of check, but
Okay,
I'll take the chair's advice. Dave Bowers, LA County.
thank you. I think that once we start voting, that's the excellent time for that. Okay, do we have nominations from the floor for Central Area Coordinator?
Kat McElroy, Fresno County. I nominate Matthew Butts.
Additional nominations?
Kalish Morrow, Kings County. And I'm getting tongue-tied. I'm nominating Kenneth Brand Olson.
Thank you. Are there additional nominations for Central Area Coordinator? Okay, seeing none, nominations have been closed. So since I lost my helper, Alex, does somebody want to come over and watch me roll the die? Whoever wants to run quickest. It's not really a big, huge thing. It's not like I'm gonna lie or anything, but. Okay, so Mr. Butts was nominated first, so I will roll. The high number is the one that will win. That's an 8. This one is for Dr. Olson. 16, so the nomination and candidate speech will first be for Dr. Olson.
All right. I would certainly need more than 2 minutes to go over the list of things and accomplishments that Mr. Dr. Olson has done for the party and for our county as well. But I'll start with my very first convention where he got elected in as Northern Vice Chair, because at that time we had 2 vice chairs. He decided that that was not an efficient system. So as a good libertarian, he got rid of his position, combined the 2 into 1 vice chair, and then created 3 area coordinators with the help of the body. So really, there's no one that's more qualified for this job than the man who created the job. So, and then what else? Sorry, I'm fuzzy. I got no sleep last night. What's more is his ability to help or to volunteer you to do something, which is how I got started and everything. I wasn't going to get involved in the party. He volunteered me to, and here we are now where I'm an elected official. We got, and then we managed to get a majority of libertarians on our council here. So we've got Francisco Ramirez and Amanda Saltre right here, who stepped up and is helping out right now. So only because of Brett. But anyway, again, nobody more qualified for this position than the man who created the job himself. Thank you.
All right. So thank you. While there are several people here who would qualify for this position, I feel pretty confident in saying that none qualify for this position more so than I do. And that's not because there are other people who may live in other areas like the southern or northern area who might not be able to do a better job than me, but I feel pretty confident that I'm the guy for the central area because I live in the central area. So obviously I meet all the qualifications set by the bylaws, but I also feel that I'm better prepared for this position than others who qualify because it's important for us to elect people to these positions where we have important functions in the party who are very highly qualified, who have the skill sets that are necessary to do the job, and who have the experience in the party to do it. This should not be a popularity contest, or it shouldn't be based on what faction a candidate belongs to. None of those things should be a factor when we're electing people. What we should be doing is looking at the best qualified candidates for these jobs. I'm a natural organizer. In 1992, I was elected precinct chair of the local Democratic Party precinct in my hometown. However, by 1996, I joined the Libertarian Party, and as soon as 1997, I was nominated without opposition for chair of the Libertarian Party of Salt Lake County. I was moving to California that year, so I had to turn down that nomination, but it spoke to the fact that people felt that I had the skill set to do the job there. I've worked in supervisory, management, and administrative levels for most of my professional career as a psychologist. In 2016, I organized the Libertarian Party of Kings County. In 2017, as Kalish mentioned, I was elected Northern Vice Chair. I conceived of eliminating the Northern and Southern Vice Chair positions and came up with the area coordinator positions that we have now, which gives us 21 counties in the central area instead of 48 counties in the northern area. So it divided up the work, so it makes it a little bit more manageable. In 2018, we passed that bylaw. Kalish sometimes jokes, as she did now, that I created the position that's perfect for me. Since 2016, I've helped organize or reorganize 10 county organizations. I've also effectively managed a successful libertarian campaign, and this year I'm running 3 campaigns. In part because of my work, also a lot of it has to do with my great friend Kalish, we now have a majority of libertarians on the Hanford City Council. And by next year, I expect that we're going to have a supermajority. So I am a born organizer and leader. I have the resume and skills to get this job done better than any other person running for this position. If elected, I'll work closely with each county chair in the central area and offer assistance where I can. I will ensure that I check in with them monthly and will do my best in attendance to attend each of their annual meetings. Not monthly or quarterly meetings, but your annual meetings I will try to get to. Too many counties to try to get to each meeting that you have. As I said, there's 21 counties in the area, so you really need somebody with a good organizational ability to get this job done. So I urge you to vote for experience. Vote Kenneth Brent Olson for Central Area Coordinator. Thank you.
Okay, and nominating speeches for Mr. Butts.
I'm Kat McElroy, Chair of the Fresno County Party. I nominate Matthew Butts. His enthusiasm and energy is really unrivaled. Even before he was recently, he was readily available to all of us and puts in so much energy and is really enthusiastic to building the party, helping counties grow, learn the ropes, get us the resources we need, and that's why I nominate him.
Hi, my name is Matthew Butts. I joined the party officially in 2019. Kind of felt weird about political titles. It was like, yeah, I'll just do the work. Vice chair, somebody had to fill it, I guess, so I did. And then I was effectively the chair because the chair had other stuff to do, personal life stuff. So I was vice chair and chair of my county. And then now the chair of that. It started out with just me and my secretary with a little bit of pre-existing structure from before, and now we have about 40 dues-paying members, about 20 regular. About 20 people show up regularly to the meetings. I'd say a dozen is every month, and then another dozen or so rotate in or out. For the membership drive, I think I made 600 phone calls over the last fall, text messages. When I first moved out, I moved out here to California in 2019 and joined the party. I was kind of waiting to move here to officially join. As soon as I did, I knew there was a city or neighborhood councilman running for office in LA that wasn't too far, so I got out there and I knocked doors by myself. It was the first time I ever done anything. It was just like the campaign manager dropped me off and was like, here's some addresses, good luck. I was like, okay, now I know why people don't want to join. There's that. I organized phone banking and text banking for Joe Jorgensen's campaign, phone banking and text banking for Kalish Morrow's campaign, and phone banking and text banking for Jeff Hewitt's campaign. Finding volunteers, finding bodies to do the work, something that I'm pretty good at. I will bug you until you say yes or leave me alone. And so as interim Central Area Coordinator over the last 6 weeks, I've reached out to all the county XCOMs, found out, who is the XCOM. I know like Santa Cruz, the list on the county XCOM was very updated. San Luis Obispo, the person that we had listed as chair, had moved like over a year ago. Nobody in the central area knew about NEON, the database that houses all the dues-paying members of the state party, and it's separated by county. Not one central committee member that I talked to knew about that, except for Susan Aquino in Ventura. The chair of Ventura didn't know. Michael Noguera of Merced, who started his county party 3 years ago, I think, he never knew about NEON. So a lot of people don't know about the resources that are available. Getting the voter registration list, signing the non-disclosure agreement. There's a lot of resources that are out there that seems to be gatekept. It seems to be gatekept, and maybe not deliberately, but there's something there where the chair before me he says, Robert Foster said he's had about 2.5 years that he was looking for the neon access and asking people and never could get it. It took me about 6 months of pestering people to get it. So I want to travel across the central area, making sure that you have all the resources that you need, be somebody on the ground in your county. I'll be making phone calls for each county. If there's nobody there in that county, I'll just make the phone calls myself. I'm willing to put in the work. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we will do this again. Do the tellers have everything they need?
If you're in the central area and have not gotten the ballot card, please raise your hand.
And once again, all of our these elections are IRV instant runoff, which would mean that you can vote in ranked order for the two candidates. You can vote for one or the other. And you can also vote for NOTA, which is always an option in a libertarian ballot. If you vote for NOTA, you don't vote for anybody else. And for this election, they will be punching the other corner. The same corner that they punched for the northern is going to be the corner that they punch for this. So, and real quick, we have this. This was from right before speeches, or right as speeches started. We have the credentials report. So if the secretary could please read that.
We have 186 credentialed delegates, 94 for simple majority, 2/3, 124 for 2/3 supermajority, and 19 for standing second.
And if there were to be a motion to suspend the rules to consider a resolution, this might be a fine time for that.
Dave Bowers, Los Angeles County. I asked that we suspend the rules to consider a resolution. I asked that the chair please read the resolution. I will not be able to make it through reading it after what I've seen in the last 21 days or 22 days. Thank you. Thank you.
Did you email that to the secretary? Can you put it on the screen, please? And we'll put it on the screen, but this is a single motion to suspend the rules to adopt this, or is it a suspension of the rules to consider the adoption? And I think it could probably be done together, but you'd probably want to speak to it, so if you want to speak to it, it can be done separately. Both require a 2/3 vote. Up to you. Huh?
Oh, bigger, I'm sorry. We're just voting on it, that's why it's being done.
Okay.
I can try and, I'm not sure I can read it.
No,
but I
no.
can try.
Let me ask the question first. This is a motion to suspend the rules to consider
A
the
motion.
resolution, or a motion
Consider-
to suspend the rules to adopt the resolution? Do you want it debatable or not?
I would, I think I would like it to be debatable, just in case there was some language that there was a minor amendment to it.
Go get it.
But
Is it up on the screen? Okay. All right, okay, that's your choice. We can do it that way. So the motion to suspend the rules is going to be to consider a resolution.
well, let me make it just one motion then. Let me make it just all in one, because that'll
Okay.
be a little bit easier. We can just read it then, right? Because that'll,
Okay, that sounds good.
thank you. When she reads it, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. No. Slide the screen over. I will attempt to read it. Because I probably even need to see it on the screen to read it. Okay, yeah, yeah, I can read it now. Let me just move the mic a little. Is this- Okay, whereas the Libertarian Party of California stands for the rights of all people, regardless of nation, to be able to peacefully protest their government's actions. Whereas the LPC supports the rights of the individual to own and control their own body. Whereas the LPC objects to the use of bank laws, regulations, and other confiscatory actions against those supporting peaceful efforts to protest tyranny. Therefore, the LPC supports the peaceful efforts of Canadians to regain freedoms lost and condemns the actions of the Canadian government against its own people's efforts to ask for their own freedom back.
Okay, before I ask for the standing second, are you waiting to see if there's anybody else that needs to vote? Is there anybody else from the central area that needs to vote? Seeing none, voting is closed. Is there a standing second, which as of the last report is now 19 people? I need 19 people standing. It looks like we have well over 19. This is a motion to suspend the rules to adopt this. This is non-debatable, so therefore we will go to a vote. It takes 2/3. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? It passes.
And just as you were recording it, if you want to, he read Canadians, which is what I believe is intended where it says Canada's, but since he stated it as Canadians, we should update it.
Okay. So if you can make that note that it's Canadians, he did read it properly.
Yep, point of personal privilege. It's not a condemnation of the Canadian people at all. It is only their government.
Oh, so it's it's Canada government or Canadian government?
Government. Yep. Yeah, stop a minute.
Okay, the motion passed. Okay, so where we're at now is we are going to wait for the results of this because the next thing that we will be going to vote for is our at-large members, and there's always the possibility that one of the two of those will... Southern, no, it's... There is no, okay, so for everybody to understand, there is no election for Southern Area Coordinator. The reason is that we elected the area coordinators at our last convention. They are elected in odd number years, not even number years. However, last year, because of a situation that occurred with the voting at the last convention, the executive committee filled two of the positions, or actually, I take that back, filled one of those two positions, and the other is the Central Area Coordinator resigned just prior to this convention. So both of these seats, as is the secretary seat, are only one-year terms because they're finishing out the term of the previous. So I wasn't wrong, but it was a good point. So the next thing we're going to be voting on is at-large members. I don't think that it's going to take long for this vote, but if anybody wanted to make an announcement, had a motion to suspend the rules for another, never mind. Okay, and we do have a winner. The winner for Central Area Coordinator is Matthew Butts with 22 votes. Brent Olson got 16 votes, and apparently there were 2 blank votes. Yeah. Matthew Butts, 22. Brent Olson, 16. And we don't count blank votes, so it's just 2216. FYI, abstentions and blank votes aren't votes, because an abstention isn't really an abstention. It's not NOTA, so FYI. All right. The next item on the agenda is the at-large members of the executive committee. For that, can I see the program again, because somebody stole mine? Can I see the program? Okay, so for this, again, we had a couple of the at-large that would have been two-year terms that were only a one-year term last year. Actually, it was one member. So in this particular instance, instead of having just the 4 area at-large, we will have 5. And we'll get there when we get to the vote, but in our convention rules, it says that you vote for 4 members, 4 of the people. In this particular case, we have 5 seats, so it would be appropriate to make a suspension of the rules to change that to 5 from 4, so that you're voting for the number of seats that you're electing. Okay, so I'm opening nominations for at-large. For these, what typically we do, because it's a shorter period of time for the speeches, is that the nominator and the nominee line up together, and the time frame for the speeches are, the nominating speech is, I do believe, 2 minutes. And a 2-minute, is it 2 minutes and 2 minutes? Yeah, so it's a 2-minute nominating speech followed by a 2-minute candidate speech. So if the nominators and nominees can please line up together. And a question, our timekeeper is still keeping time while he's doing his own time?
I can do that.
I'd like to make
Are
a
you
motion.
sure?
I'd
Okay.
like to make a motion to suspend the rules.
You know what, we're gonna let the vice chair do that so you don't have to do double duty.
That's fair. Just know I could have, you know?
It's,
That's the kind of guy I am.
it's 2 minutes. Again, 2 minutes for the nomination and 2 minutes for the candidate.
Mimi?
So, yes,
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules to vote for 5 instead of 4.
we can do that now, real quick. A motion has been made to suspend the rules to be able to vote for the 5 empty seats as opposed to only 4 people, which would make no sense. It's non-debatable. It needs a standing second of 18. And I see a lot of people standing, so I'm just going to assume that that's like 18 people. So it is. Okay, so it's non-debatable. Is there?
Please.
That was Chris Kinnear from Orange County.
Chris Kinnear, Orange County.
With standing second. Is there any, okay, all those in favor of suspending the rules to nominate, or to vote for 5 instead of 4, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, it passes. Now we will do this thing.
Hi, all. I'd like to nominate Michael Lima for at-large. Michael is an extremely passionate libertarian and has a goal to spread liberty starting at the local level. So local that he even made me a libertarian. He is currently an at-large alternate for the state executive committee. He is a national organizer for the Veteran Caucus and currently a candidate for a local office. Give it up for Michael Lima. Woo!
How's everybody doing? Good afternoon. I'm Michael Lima from Alameda County. First and foremost, I want to thank you guys all for coming out. A lot more people showed up this year than last year. That's amazing. We're growing. We should be proud of ourselves. Give ourselves a hand. They say the average person will meet about 80,000 people in their lifetime. Where am I getting with that? If every single person sitting in this room today went and touched just 10 people's lives and showed them the light of liberty, there's about 150 people of us here today The people at the 2022 convention would have changed the lives of 150 million people in 5 short generations. Think about that for a second. What could another 15 million people do for our activism, our legislation in our country, and for the future of the state party? In the words of Spike Cohen, you are the power. Please don't forget that. Moving forward, if I'm elected, what I would like to see is the California Libertarian Party focusing on winnable local races to promote our ideology and prove what we think actually works in practice. We must build this party from the ground up, from the grassroots. Together, we can do that. I'm a Marine Corps veteran, and I have a focus on veteran outreach. As Victoria had mentioned, I'm the national organizer for the Libertarian Veteran Caucus. We've grown our caucus from 1,000 members to 6,000 in about 4 months. Veterans have seen firsthand how terrible the government runs things, from countless amounts of spending, billions and billions of dollars on a single deployment. It is absolute lunacy. Yeah, sorry.
You're at time.
Thank you all. I'm Michael Lima.
Hi, everyone. Angela McArdle from LA County. I am nominating Jessica Tewksbury to be on an at-large again. We recruited her last year, and she hit the ground running. She's got to be someone who has made almost as many membership phone calls as Matthew Butts. Her enthusiasm is phenomenal. She has been an incredible cheerleader for us and really kept the vibe up and kept the pace up. And she has also recruited her beautiful family to join us in the party. And they are all lifetime libertarians, and now we've got them actually in the party. This is what we need. More principled growth. Principled growth. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you. Okay, I'm too short for this. I don't even know what to say. So I'm just going to touch on a couple of bullet points. So a lot of you guys know I was elected secretary last year, and then something changed. I've been at large since June, and since then I've joined almost 1 committee per month, and I love it. People tell me I'm crazy. So I'm on the XCOM currently. I'm on the operations committee, the platform alternate. I'm an alternate for the platform committee, which no longer exists. I'm on the communications and marketing committee on the Beacon. I loved being involved in the national membership drive, and that led me to join the membership committee. I'm the program committee chair. We had the first successful program in several years. Thank you, Zach. Where are you? Could not do it without him. And we are very excited to actually move forward with that program committee again this year. Also an alternate for national credentials, so all this delegate stuff is just extra exciting for me. I recently got elected the secretary of my county because of, I don't know, I guess they were excited about the work that I was doing or something. And we've expanded membership through that drive, and we've seen increases every single month this last year on, since I joined, I've seen an increase in members coming to meetings every single time. And I feel like there's something else I should say. I feel like by now a lot of you know me, and if you don't, that's fine. You can always come ask me a question. But I just don't know what to say about myself. So this is what I've done. And yeah, I don't know. I'm Jessica. Vote for me.
Thank you. Okay, point of personal privilege, kind of. If Michael Lima can take back over the timing detail, I need to leave the podium for a moment and pass the gavel. So, can he? Thank you. Perfect, thank you. And I'm going to be ready.
Whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready, if the timekeeper is ready. We're good.
Kat McElroy, Fresno County. I nominate Gary Alstead for at-large. I've spent a lot of time with Gary in very short, intense bursts. I did credentialing with him last year. I did credentialing with him this year. He was the chair this year of the credentialing committee, so if you liked how your check-in went this year with credentialing, he's your guy.
Hey, thanks everyone. Gary Alstead. See, I first joined the Libertarian Party in January of '97, so 25 years ago. I dropped out for a while, but I'm back. I think we have a really unique opportunity to grow the party bigger than it's ever been. The key is, and if you listen to the speakers this weekend, they all said the same thing. We need to get over this partisan, this sectarian, the fighting each other. We have to accept that certain groups aren't going to go away, and we're just going to have to learn to live with each other. I think I'm a good person to be on the XCOM for that, because I do work well with either side, even though I'm active in one of the caucuses. It's a big one. You'd recognize the name if I said it. But I have friends on the other side, or at least I did on Friday. I'm sure I will. I'm sure they'll be friends again. But so anyway, for us to move forward, I really think California could become a model for the other states. If you've seen the way other states have been just torn apart by this infighting, once again, it's time for California to lead and to show how we can coexist peacefully. Thank you.
Hello, Tara Young from Riverside County, and I would like to nominate Wendy Hewitt of Riverside County. So, not only is Wendy a friend, but she's somebody that I personally look up to in my time in the Libertarian Party. She has many years behind her, a lot of wisdom, and a lot of that wisdom comes from just living life, and a lot of it comes from being married to Jeff, and a lot of it comes from her own hard work that she does. She is one of our elected officials on the Calamasa City Council. So, why I think Wendy would make a great at-large member is because she offers her balanced opinion. She's very even, very balanced, and I think she offers a lot to the executive committee.
Thank you, Tara. I'm going to put this back. I don't want to hold it. All right. I've had a nightmare. Have you all had one recently? Oh my gosh. That we've been forced to inject into our bodies meds. We've been forced to seclude ourselves. Where people have hidden in fear. Where children have been locked in their homes with their potential abusers and not been able to go to school and be with their friends and teachers. This is our world now. What are we going to do? We're going to fight, right? We're going to keep fighting and keep fighting together until we get it right. Like what Angela McCardle has done in LA County with so many protests and the anti-mandate initiative. Congratulations on that, by the way. Like what Jeff Hewitt and Boomer Shannon have done in Riverside County, and Kalish Morrow and Brent Olson in Hanford, by getting people elected, and making very libertarian decisions. So that's what we need to do, build from the ground up, our base, and then build from there. I am an elected also. I was elected to the city council in 2020. I know what it takes to get elected. I have been active with the Libertarian Party since 2016. I was a Southern Area Coordinator for a while, and I've been at large for a couple years. I was very active on the volunteer committee. I am now on the candidate support committee, and that's where I love to be, because we're getting people elected and we're helping them out. I have experience, and I'm not afraid of change. We have to keep changing and keep trying to fight for our freedom until we get it right. If you elect me for at large, I will keep up the fight for freedom. I will keep trying, keep moving forward. With the Libertarian Party behind me, supporting me, we can overcome this craziness and hopefully get back to a freer tomorrow. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Justin Quigley of Stanislaus. I haven't really been active the last couple years, but I did in the past serve as the county there in Stanislaus, and I was the at-large member on the executive committee and briefly the very first Central Area Coordinator. I came to my first convention and right away met Zach Foster, who I'm nominating for at-large, and I've been a good friend of him ever since. And we're all fighting the good fight, and we're in one of the worst states to be dealing with this because we're vastly outnumbered, and we're in one of the most legally restrictive states you can be in. I mean, it's an authoritarian nightmare for most of us. This guy actually moved to California, as it's continually getting worse, so that he could come here and help us fight this good fight. Not only that, he actually served as the official Spanish voice for Spike Cohen during the campaign during this last presidential election. And he goes out of his way to go and work in Latin American countries and help other places that are actually facing real authoritarian regimes in communist dictatorships. So this guy has firsthand knowledge and experience with what goes on in places like that. So he's going to bring a very strong voice to our XCOM. And I think you all should make sure we get him on there. I know there's a lot of really great options here that we're seeing, so make sure he's one of them. Thank you.
Hola, saludos, buenas tardes. Es un placer estar aquí con todos ustedes. Fue muy difícil, tuve que esquivar la policía por algo como 20 millas, pero ya llegué y todos estamos acá para hacer Freedom Cosas. Hello, everybody. I'm Zach Foster from Los Angeles County. I have had the pleasure of serving before on XCOM. I finished a term that somebody else vacated when they moved from the state. My experience, which I can brag about, I have never had a single argument with anybody during my time in XCOM, although certain people could testify, I have broken out into song to derail other people's arguments. I have had the privilege and also misfortune to work with other libertarian parties in more oppressed countries in the world. And one of the reasons I like doing that is because it gives me inspiration, but also it gives me a newfound appreciation for all of you guys here in this body. A lot of people would say that we are comparatively more free than we are in Venezuela and North Korea, but one of the reasons why it is still that way is because of people like all of you who raise a ruckus, and I'm just gonna say, throw a bitch fit every time government tries to trample on our rights, and that is why we have not gotten as far as they've gotten in those countries. So that's some of the beliefs that I bring to the table. Listen, folks, there is room here for everyone. One of the beautiful things about the Libertarian Party is we have folks here who are very proud of their European ancestry, folks who are proud of their Hispanic ancestry, folks who are extremely proud to be LGBT activists, folks who are extremely proud to be former police officers who are trying to reform law enforcement. We got folks coming here from every corner of the globe, and what we do agree on is human freedom and also big government sucks. So please help me get back on the executive committee, and also, if I am on this committee, I will use every piece of energy possible to make sure that in a major election year, the California Party is in a better position to pick up some of the low-hanging fruit, and that all of our statewide and federal candidates have literature in Spanish, Korean, Mandarin, and Armenian, because those are some of the biggest ethnic groups in California, and those folks vote. And a lot of those folks are also victims of authoritarian regimes, which is why they came here in the first place. So, I'm Zach Foster. I hope I can count on your support. Thank you very much.
Good job, Zach, and good luck to you. What a weird time to realize that I'm really suck at Spanish, but thanks for reminding me I need to work on that. I'm up here to nominate a very special person, Gia Christopher right here. Let me just tell you guys, she has been an absolute rock this last year. She's been the Northern Area Coordinator. I've worked directly with this lady for the entire year. We are trying to push liberty in the North and really grow the local county level stuff. She has helped me so much. She's such a genuine human being, and I know as an at-large on this XCOM, she is going to do a fantastic job, and all the people up there already love her to death because she's such a genuinely kind-hearted person. But without further ado, I nominate Gia Christopher to be at-large. You're a great human.
Don't make me cry. Okay, stop. Okay, so
I'm Gia Christopher. I'm a lifetime member of the Libertarian Party of California, and I was, until today, serving as your Northern Coordinator. And one of the duties of that job was coordinating people, getting new people to come in, helping them figure out how to get involved, and growing the movement. And I had a budget of $2,000. And some of you would say you didn't spend a dime of it. And the answer is, I did, except I decided that the Libertarian Party needed the money more than I did, and so I just didn't turn in any receipts. And so I turned that money back in so that we can use it again for the next year's budget, and that's something I'm pretty proud of. I want to continue to grow the libertarian coffers. I want to keep pumping up auction prices. I want to keep putting on charity events. I want to win. I want Michael Lima to win. I want the Bay Area to win. And basically, I just want to be everyone's friend here because I have nothing bad to say about any single libertarian, no matter if you disagree with me philosophically. I like all of you because ultimately every single person who is with freedom is with me. And so I want to be with you. So thanks.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm David Naranjo, Chair of the Libertarian Party of Orange County, and I'm here to nominate Rajani Mayatiko for at-large representative. Rajani is currently our treasurer for our county, and she has a lot of experience keeping our books and keeping us compliant with all the FPPC nonsense that we always have to deal with. She also heads up our county outreach committee, and as many of you probably know, we do a lot of voter outreach in our county. We do a lot of events every year, and she is involved in helping us train our volunteers and kind of helping us keep everybody aware of our party in Orange County. I think she'll be an asset to the executive committee. Her professionalism and her experience would definitely be a benefit to the party overall.
Thank you, David. My name is Rajani Mayatiko, and I'm grateful for the nomination from David. Proud to offer my time as a volunteer to the Libertarian Party. I want to start with a quick question. How many of you have been in a pit? I know some of y'all have been in a mosh pit. So I think being in the pit isn't all that different from attending business at the Libertarian Party Convention. Think of a pit. There's a lot of people, there's pushing, shoving, you're trying to keep your balance, trying to stay up at the front. Shit, there's crowd surfers kicking you in the head. Now, you may be thinking, how is that anything like the parliamentary joy we've been experiencing? There's a unifying force in the pit. Everyone is there for the same reason, just like everyone in this room. And that amazing feeling you get when everyone in the pit is singing the song with you, that's the point. Everyone in this room is dedicated to increasing liberty. We're all singing the same song. I'm a lifelong libertarian. I joined the party in 2016, treasurer and outreach director, as David said, in Orange County. Serve on the state committee, the membership committee for the state. I'm a realtor, I'm a musician, obviously I love music. And I've got 2 degrees from CSUN, one in economics and one in business law. That's right, Matadors. So with the upcoming elections in mind, my goals are clear: fundraising for candidates, training campaign volunteers, and field operations support. I'm ready to work to raise money for libertarian candidates across the state. I plan to help expand the quarterly training sessions we're planning in Orange County as much as we can around the entire state. With the infrastructure of highly trained and empowered volunteers, we can ensure support for activists, candidates, and elected libertarians who will impact real policy. I'll lead and participate in field ops like door knocking, signature collecting, phone text banking, visibility, community events, collaborating with local coalitions. Look, we've heard from successful libertarian activists and elected libertarians. We need to go to where the people are and listen to them. That's how we win. So once again, I'm Rajani Mayatiko. Thank you for voting for me for at-large. I'll see you in the pit.
Hi, everybody. My name's Dave Schrader. You might not know me, but you might want to join the Bald Guys Coalition. Anyway, I've known Chris since we both worked on the Joe Jorgensen campaign together. He was the California coordinator, and I self-organized a group of data analytics people, and we're still meeting, and he's still coming to the meetings, and that's why he put data analytics on his card. When I knew him in that capacity, he was busy text banking to a lot of people who did it right up into the very last minute, to Hawaii, which is the last place closing for voting, post-campaign. We've had 34 meetings. He's been in on most of them. We worked on 13 experiments, data experiments for the Hewitt campaign. You can ask me about that, but let's turn it over to him so he can explain why you should vote for him.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris Minoletti from San Mateo County, and I'd like to ask for your vote for at-large. I first joined the Libertarian Party in 2012, had libertarian leanings for a long time before that, and you could say I started with online activism, or as any good libertarian, maybe I was a bit of a keyboard warrior. But it wasn't until about 2020 when I really got involved. And I jumped in with both feet, as Dave Schrader said. I volunteered to be the California State Coordinator for the Jorgensen campaign. That gave me a great opportunity to meet so many of you. I got to go to San Diego, Orange County, Sacramento, Oakland, and that was my introduction to this wonderful group of activists that we have here. In the last 18 months, I've volunteered for 6 campaigns in varying roles, from treasurer to social media. I've live tweeted debates on behalf of a candidate before, so it's been fun just jumping in a bunch of different roles, learning as I go, and being able to share that knowledge with other people too. I point that out because I've worked with people from all factions, all levels of experience, people brand new to the party, people that have been in the party for 20 years. And that means I've gotten to work with all those people, and we've been functioning. And I know that's been a theme of this weekend, because I just want to say I think it's important. I know we've got our sleeves rolled up right now, and when we get out of here, it's time for us to go back to work together. There's, maybe 200 people in this room. There are 40 million people in California. So we're all on the same team here. Let's get back to work. Let's work together. My goals that I'll bring to at-large, let's fundraise. Let's grow membership. Again, let's work together. Let's recruit candidates. Let's train volunteers. Let's build a bench of candidates and activists and campaign teams. Let's get people elected to local office. I know we have Michael Lima running for Hayward City Council. Excited for that. And Kelly Kern running for County Supervisor in Kern County. Let's get more of them up. Let's build that bench up. Let's get teams going. Again, Chris Minoletti, and I appreciate your vote.
Sure. Okay, so just really quickly, is there any further nominations for at-large?
Yes.
Okay.
Richard Fast, Contra Costa County. I don't see him at the moment, but I'd like to nominate Den Balillo for at-large.
Okay. Do you want to speak to that nomination? Did he accept?
Yes, yes, he has told me that he would accept. So I have worked with Den one-on-one in Contra Costa County. He has been a very valuable asset in helping us set up social events, getting people out to Contra Costa, getting them involved, getting them motivated, getting them to show up and talk about the things that matter to them the most, and finding liberty solutions. I ask you to please vote for Den Balillo for at-large. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And just to be clear, that's Dennis who's right there, who does get 2 minutes. And it's Bellillo, correct?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Um,
Bellillo. Go ahead, please.
So-
Sorry.
If I'm elected, I'll show up, I'll do my job, I'll do my reading, I'll try to represent us. Thank you.
Okay, are there any further nominations for at-large? Okay, seeing none, nominations are closed. Yes, sir.
I have a point of personal privilege. As someone who has to read all your guys' handwriting to try and do this, the last couple were okay because it was just 2 candidates. We're going to have 5 names on here out of, 8 or 9 or whatever. Please, please try and spend that extra second in order to write the names out. Try and do both names, not just a first or last name. Thank you very much.
Okay, we also lost one of our tellers who had to leave, so I'm enlisting the help of one more teller. Okay, Ms. Calendar? Okay, so we've got 3 tellers. We've got we have 9 candidates for 5 positions. You will be voting for no more than 5 people. The way that we do this is basically it's a majority vote. You vote for no more than 5. It is not ranked choice. It's just people that you want. And you don't have to vote for all 5, but don't vote for more than 5. Also, if you're voting for NOTA, that's the only one you're voting for because that means none of the above, which means if you put NOTA and other names, the other names won't be counted. Just so everybody is clear on that. And again, write clearly because they have a hard time reading sometimes. I was the teller for the San Diego County, and I can tell you that there was ballots that I just couldn't decipher because some libertarians, including myself, have really bad handwriting. Okay. So everybody will be voting for 5.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry? Those go right there. No. Again, this is not ranked choice. This is just 5 people. And it requires a majority of those voting to win. can't be left because when I leave and leave the thing, Richard Brown gets really mad at me.
Kind of like dollar cost averaging. Non-monetary contribution, or like where do I put it exactly? No, I'm just yeah, the real take on that.
It's not my job no more. I don't have to.
Yeah, I'm yeah, because no, I love that. You guys got a big.
It's not.
It identifies as one.
Point of information, Madam Vice Chair. Madam Vice Chair? Microphone 2.
If he didn't sign it, he can get a new one.
It would just the unsigned one just be invalid.
And then the unsigned one will just be a bad ballot. Right over there.
May I be recognized?
Sorry, what? The member from San Francisco.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Star Child from San Francisco. While we're doing the vote counting, I would like to offer another resolution, if that would be in order.
All right, for those of you who can't hear, there is a question at the microphone about whether it is in order to make a resolution at this time. Do you want it read or to vote on it?
I want to read it and then have it voted on to be adopted.
To have a resolution and vote on it. Okay. If the intention is Star Child, could it wait until after the voting is done for this, since it would require a suspension of the rules and voting on that?
It would require suspension of the rules to do it while voting is occurring?
Since technically we're not at that part of the agenda yet, it would require a suspension of the rules.
Okay,
That might
yeah,
be
that's what
difficult
I
if people
wasn't
are voting.
entirely sure about. In that case, I'd rather wait if we would have to suspend the rules, but I'm not sure that's the case. We did have a resolution take place earlier.
We had voted to suspend it to allow for that.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Well, I think it would be a good use of time, so maybe people will vote to suspend the rules, since if they don't, then I would just bring it back at the appropriate time if the suspension of the rules fails, assuming I'm permitted to do that.
I apologize, it's nothing that you're doing. I'm just having a lot of difficulty hearing you, and it's not to do with the mic,
Okay.
it's because there's a lot of conversation going on because of the voting.
Maybe you could ask people to refrain from conversation while voting, and then we could conduct business while we're waiting in line.
Yeah. So,
Put us at ease.
yeah, okay, so while we're voting, we're gonna go at ease for a little bit, for 15 minutes.
And people can bring up their ballots.
Yes, and you can still be voting during that time.
People can bring up their national ballots.
And please remember to turn in your national ballots if you so choose. And remember to sign your ballots, please. Gosh, Mimi is so short. So, when, I should say to the mic. So, okay, if we were to vote on, and I apologize again, I couldn't hear what you had been saying to me after this response. So.
I was saying I would like, I guess, to try to suspend the rules now, because I think it would be a good use of the time while we're voting. We're not doing any other business. But if the suspension of the rules fails, I want to make sure that I could bring it back for consideration then during the resolution portion of the business meeting, since the resolution itself would not have been voted on, just the effort to suspend the rules.
Sorry, I need to hear what he's saying. So. I am going to say that that's out of order at this time, and I would just ask if we could wait and just until we're done with the voting here. Resolutions would be after this, so if you want to just wait for the voting to be finished, resolutions would be in order at that time.
Madam Vice Chair, with all due respect, I think if you just ask for quiet in the room while people are voting, we could get some business done now and save ourselves time. You know, I mean, I could obviously do it later, but
Okay.
it'd be good use of our time to do it now.
I'm finding out what the number would be for a second.
Okay.
Are there any more at-large votes that need to be turned in?
All right, I had placed us at ease, and I'm calling us back into order. There is a motion on the floor to suspend the rules to consider a resolution. It would need 19, and I realize that people are voting right now, so I apologize if you're upset by this. Okay, so instead of doing a standing second, since we are, with that, am I allowed to do that? Raise hand. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is how it's happening. All right, there is a motion on the floor to suspend the rules to consider a motion. Since people are voting and therefore standing, we are going, instead of a standing second, we are going to do a raised hand second. It would require 19 if the member from San Francisco would like to restate the motion.
Yes, this is a resolution to express support and solidarity with a woman who is currently facing federal charges for assisting people in preparing their taxes and allegedly, according to the feds, helping them reduce their taxes by creating fictitious businesses and filing false returns. She has a court appearance this coming Thursday, February 24th. Her case was pretty big news in the Bay Area. There were multiple local media stories about it. I reached out to her, was able to find contact info online, and she was very grateful to hear from me and hear the support. And she spoke to our December meeting of the Libertarian Party of San Francisco. She asserts she's innocent, wants to fight the charges, so I would like to show her some support, and maybe after we pass the resolution, even see if we can get her on the phone and just give her a cheer or something, so she can hear all the people here that are standing with her.
Yes. Okay, so it is a motion.
I was just explaining it before. Yes, I do. I have the
Okay.
text here.
Is there a, well, yeah, people were standing. So now that everyone's kind of sitting, is there a standing second of 19 people to consider the motion to suspend the rules? That's. You're back, so.
Okay, was it a motion? Was it a motion to suspend the rules to consider the resolution, or was it a motion to suspend the rules? So was it one?
To adopt the resolution, yes.
It's one vote, a motion to suspend the rules to adopt the resolution that you just read. Okay,
Yes.
so everybody and we've already done the second, right? No, we have not. Okay. Okay, yes.
The motion has been described, but we don't actually see the language that we're going to vote on.
Okay, do you have it, did you give it to the secretary?
I do not. I have it here in writing. If the secretary wants me to write it out so that it
What
can-
would be really swell is if you come up with the secretary before making this motion, real quick here, or can you type, you don't have a computer?
I do have a computer, but this would be a way to use our time. I don't expect it to be controversial here.
No, I know, but people want to see it. So if you could bring it up so that the secretary,
Could type it out. Okay.
actually, if you could come up and type it on her screen right quick.
All right.
That would be best. Oh, okay. Are there any other votes? Does anybody still have to vote? Ms. Nix needs to vote. The vice chair, please. I just said Ms. Nix needs to vote. She had to deal with this, so. Okay, is there anybody else that has not yet voted? Here. Okay, okay. So that motion will be made in a moment once it's typed. And being that I see no other votes after the vice chair votes, voting will be closed. So, okay then. I don't think we can go to the next election because again, there may be folks that want to run in that election based upon this vote. And the election after that, so the election after this is at-large alternates, followed by judicial committee members and judicial committee alternates. It is possible that people that are running may end up wanting to run for that, and you can't be both. So I would ask, is there possibly any endorsements that anybody might want to suspend the rules to endorse as a body as opposed to anybody that might have just only been endorsed by the executive committee? Because I think it means more. Mr. Lima, were you endorsed at the last convention? Okay. What? No, I believe that you were endorsed by the executive committee. No, you're running for public office. You were endorsed by the executive committee. You might want to be endorsed by this body. I think that that means a lot more. So somebody might want to make a motion to suspend the rules to consider endorsement of your campaign. I'm hand feeding it to you.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules to consider endorsing Michael Lima for Hayward.
Okay. This is a single motion to suspend the rules unless, Mr. Leem, unless you want to make it debatable. Well, no, actually for endorsements, he gets to talk. So this would first be a motion to suspend the rules to then consider the endorsement. That's what I heard you say, right?
Yes, Madam Chair.
I thought that's what I heard you say.
You're
Okay,
very wise.
is there a standing second to suspend the rules? I need 19 people standing. I see far more than 19, so we will vote on suspending the rules. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Good job. Okie dokie, so now it is you that has the mic to make the motion to do the thing you want to do.
I would like to make a motion to endorse Michael Lima's campaign for City Council in Hayward, California.
For which seat?
A City Council.
No, I know, but is it
No,
at
it's
large?
not, it's at large. I'm
It's
sorry.
at large, okay. So there's been a motion made to endorse Mr. Lima for Hayward City Council for an at-large seat. Is there a standing second? 19 people, which I know I'm going to get far more. Excellent. So, would you like to speak to your endorsement?
I am a little biased here. I am Michael Lima's campaign manager, but as long as I have known him, he has been a very principled person. I've had the privilege of knowing him for over a year now. We have been very... Thank you for that. Everyone ignore that you saw that. But outside of that, he is an outstanding, he's very principled. He is very excited to run. He's willing to do the work. He has donated thousands of dollars to this party. Volunteerism program. He is currently in the executive committee for Alameda County. He has helped me with things in Contra Costa County. Basically, anytime you need Michael Lima to do anything, clean your house, wash your car, whatever, I will give you his contact information. He's just that good. And he is willing to do that for the people of Hayward. So there we go. That's my...
Thank you. Mr. Lima, would you like to speak to your endorsement?
Yes, please. Hey, everybody. How you guys doing? Woo! I didn't write a speech for this because I didn't know it was going to happen, so I apologize. But yeah, from day one, it's been a very winnable race. I need 15,000 votes, and we've broken down the numbers with the Libertarian Party of California. There's about 9,000 Republicans that I think I can get to, 2,000 more Democrats that are against mask mandates, and another 2,000 Democrats that are against, or that are veterans. Easy. So our game plan was simple. Join the Rotary Club, Chamber of Commerce, American Legion. I've already done all that. I've networked. I'm close friends with the president of the Rotary Club. I volunteer every fourth Sunday at the Salvation Army to feed the homeless. I've been invited to the mayor's house for a Christmas party. I've had meetings with the captain of the fire department, the captain of the, we did a toy drive for the Hayward Fire Department. I'll be on a documentary on Hulu coming in December for a toy drive that we did recently. So I'm really excited. We're getting a lot of traction in this race, and the incumbent's scared. Every time I post something bashing how Hayward City Council is still closed and it's only on Zoom, she'll always DM me, why do you have a problem with this? The reason I have a problem with that is because I spent 5 years in the military, what I thought defending these liberties and freedoms, for them to be taken away from me. When I first got out of the military, they told me I needed papers to drive to work. That is absolutely ridiculous. That's what motivated me to do this and make a difference. With your guys' help and your nomination, we can make Hayward a little bit more golden. I might not be able to get much accomplished if I'm elected, but I will ignite a spark. There will be other people that will stand up against these mandates and against this tyranny. With your help, we can make that happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is an endorsement. It requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor of endorsement, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? You're endorsed. The next person at the mic is over here.
Dr. Kenneth Olson, Kings County. I would like to move to suspend the rules to consider the endorsement, if I could, of 3 candidates.
Yes.
Is that okay?
I don't see a problem. I mean, that
Okay.
can be a single motion.
Okay, cool. So I'd like to suspend the rules to consider the endorsement of 3 candidates for Hanford City Council.
Okay. Is there so this is a motion to suspend the rules to consider endorsement of 3 candidates for Hanford City Council. Is there a standing second of 19 people? That's 19 or more. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
All right.
It passes.
The whole thing?
No, that
Yeah, I
thing.
know. So should I do each one separately?
You can do all 3 together, or you can do them separately. I will leave that up to your discretion.
I'll save time and do them all 3 together. All right. So what I'd like to move is that we endorse the following candidates. Shane Strawn for Hanford City Council District E. Francisco Ramirez for Hanford City Council District D. And Amanda Saltre for Hanford City Council District A. I'm running all 3 of those campaigns this year. 2 of them are incumbents, so they'll be defending their majority, and I do believe that we've got a really good opportunity to get a supermajority in Hanford. And these city council members have already done great things. Kalicia's kept several of her campaign promises, which of course were all related to our libertarian ideals of reducing the influence and size and scope of government and ensuring that we don't get any new taxes or fees or anything like that passed in Hanford. So Hanford is really, it's turning into a golden city, truly. So I hope you support the endorsement of these 3 candidates so that we can keep that momentum and have a gold rush in the Central Valley of California. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Would the candidates like to speak?
They had to leave, unfortunately.
Okay, that saves us more time. Okay, this is a motion to endorse 3 candidates for Hanford City Council for districts A, D, and E. And that would be Amanda Saltre, Francisco Ramirez, and Shane Strawn. All of those are Central Committee members of the Libertarian Party of California. They are registered libertarians. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? It passes. Those 3 are endorsed. Thank you very much. We go to this microphone.
Jose Castañeda, Los Angeles County. I move to suspend the rules for the purpose of endorsing Joe Dean for United States House of Representatives, District 17.
Okay. Thank you. And to be clear, this is a motion to suspend the rules to consider endorsement, or is it a motion to suspend the rules to endorse?
To consider endorsing.
Excellent. Can I have 19 people standing for a standing second? Okay. All those in favor of suspending the rules, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okie dokie. Thank you for that. And Mr. Castaneda?
All right. I move that the Libertarian Party of California, assembled at this convention, endorse Joe Dean for United States House of Representatives, District 17.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did you speak to your, yes, please speak to your,
okay.
Please make your motion for endorsement.
All right. Endorse Joe Dean for United States House of Representatives, District 17, and he's been around forever, and he deserves our endorsement.
Thank you, and would Mr. Dean like to speak to his endorsement?
Well, you all have my flyer, so you can see what I'm for. All I'd say is I wish I had some companions doing this. I wish I weren't the only person running for Congress. And there's 2 more weeks. You could file. So let's get the name Libertarian on the ballot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and thank you for running. We will go to a vote. All those in favor of endorsement of Mr. Dean for House of Representatives District 17, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? You are endorsed. I'm going to stop from, oh, congratulations and thank you. Thank you for running. I'm going to stop for a brief moment to let you guys know that we're about 43 minutes away from this air wall closing. And we still got a full house. So we are going to be jam-packed over here at 4 o'clock, just so everybody knows. But we can continue doing business until 6. So we have plenty of time to finish business. But at 4 o'clock, we're going to be stopping for 10-ish minutes to close the air wall. So just a heads up, it's coming soon. I don't believe that they've finished counting the votes, because that was a lot of votes to count for this kind of a thing. I will go to this mic, and then I will ask after that if Star Child is ready to make his motion after that. Okay, yes, sir.
Greg Michael from San Francisco. I would like to make a motion to reopen nominations for the at-large position and suspend the rules if necessary to accomplish that.
Can't do that now, it's out of order. We've already closed nominations, and not only have we closed nominations, but they're in the process of counting the ballots. So you can't reopen nominations after the vote has been closed. However, we have alternates coming. No, you just can't do it. I was thinking something, but I was wrong. So no, unfortunately, it is far too late for that. Okay, Star Child?
Yes, so I think the text is up on the screen, but I will read this. And for those interested, you can look up online and find some of the stories about this. Whereas the Libertarian Party of California opposes coercive taxation, and whereas we support efforts to help individuals reduce the amount of money stolen from them by government, and whereas professional tax preparer Tracy Austin, a black female entrepreneur in the Bay Area, has built her own business and helped many ordinary folks of modest income in her community, creating jobs, helped many ordinary folks of modest income in her community file their taxes, as well as creating jobs by teaching people how to similarly help others. And whereas Tracy is being criminally prosecuted by the IRS and the Justice Department for allegedly helping people avoid taxes by creating fictitious businesses and filing false returns. And whereas the government is threatening her with a $100,000 fine and up to 3 years in federal prison, and whereas Tracy asserts her innocence and stands accused of committing a quote-unquote crime with no victims, and whereas even if she did what the feds accuse her of, she has done nothing wrong and is in fact providing a valuable public service. Therefore, we, the members of the Libertarian Party of California, stand in solidarity with Tracy and offer her our support and encouragement in her upcoming trial and call for all the charges against her to be dropped.
Thank you. So that was a single motion to suspend the rules to consider adopting this resolution. It's not debatable. So, right? That's what you did?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so is there a standing second of 19 folks that are willing to second that? Okay, we've got the standing second. We will go to a vote. All in favor of adopting this resolution, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Nay. It passes.
Thank you very much. With the body's indulgence, if we have time, I thought it would be really neat and cool if I called Tracy and actually got her on the phone and we could all say something in the background like, you know, we support you.
If we have time at some point in the future, but right now, I've got people at the bike,
Okay.
so.
She's got a court date coming up Thursday in Oakland, so.
Okay, but again, I
Okay.
gotta go
If there's
to-
time, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
Gene Strasburg, Chairman, Rivers Lake County. I'd like to move to suspend the rules so we can consider the endorsement of Roger Cohen, who's running for State Assembly District 50.
Okay. And let me ask a question. Is this a motion to do both things in one vote, or is it a motion to suspend the rules to consider endorsement?
To suspend the rules and consider the endorsement.
Perfect. Okay, is there a standing second to suspend the rules to consider endorsement? Okie dokie. That's a second. So would you like, all those in favor of suspension of the rules, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? It passes for suspension of the rules. Go ahead, Mr. Trosper.
I would like to go ahead and yield the microphone to Roger Cohen.
Okay, but again, you have to state the motion because you're the motion maker.
Silly me. I would like to just move to endorse Roger Cohen, who's running for State Assembly, District 50, in I believe, the San Bernardino area. I've known him for a while. He's a real stand-up guy, and I really hope that the gathered delegates support this endorsement.
Thank you. And would you like to speak to your endorsement?
Thank you, everyone. I'm Dr. Roger Cohen. I am running in Redlands. It's a new, I'm going to call it gerrymandered. We don't use that anymore, district. And it's an ample opportunity. Just the Democrat in the office, and the last person won with only 42% of the vote. So this is an actual real opportunity for libertarians to make an impact in the assembly. I'm a political science person, doctor of political science. So rlc4assembly.com, come and support. And actually, it's a real winnable situation.
Thank you. All right, all those in favor of endorsement of Dr. Cohen for Assembly, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? You are endorsed. Thank you very much, and thank you for running. Yes, sir.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules to consider the endorsement of Alex Grunenfelder-Smith for Mayor of Los Angeles.
And can you please state your name?
My name is Terry Floyd. I'm with Alameda County.
Okay. Just for the secretary and for the recording, it's always best.
Yeah.
I knew who you were, though. Okay, so, and is this a single vote or two votes? Are we doing suspension of the rules to consider endorsement, or are we doing?
Yes, a motion to consider endorsement.
And I do have a question. Is the candidate a registered libertarian?
I believe so, but he's not here. He was here yesterday all day.
Was he a delegate?
No, he's not a delegate. He's running for mayor, and he's requesting our endorsement.
Does anybody know if he is a registered libertarian?
I did not ask him.
Can we find out right quick? Because we can only endorse registered libertarians. I know it's a nonpartisan race, but this body can only endorse registered libertarians.
Okay, I will
So,
check with him and get back. Or
if
can
you
we-
have, no, do a thing. After we get the votes, totaled, can you
Just do it
ask
again?
Mr. Ferreira to check the voter registration information?
Okay.
That would be a quick and easy way to do it. I can't do that for you right now because I'm busy.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that, but we can only endorse registered libertarians. Yes, sir.
I'd like to move to suspend, or I'm Zach Kincaid from Yolo County. I'd like to move to suspend the rules so that we can endorse Kelly Carden for Kern County Supervisor District 2.
Okay, and this is a suspension of the rules to consider endorsement, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so is there a standing second? We need 19 people standing. Okay, we have the standing second. I do know that Mr. Carden is in fact a registered libertarian. So all those in favor of suspension of the rules, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, the rules have been suspended. That passes, so please.
I would like to endorse Kelly. He was the first person I met at last year's convention. He got to call me his speechwriter earlier this weekend. That kind of made my day, but he's been running to change his community. His whole point is that he's a member of the community he's serving, and all of the other politicians aren't. This dude is fighting to keep everybody's bills lower, keep the government out of everybody's business. He means what he says. I think that we should all stand behind him.
Thank you. Mr. Carden?
I'm going to step over here because all these beautiful people, I want their endorsement too. Hey guys, my name is Kelly Carden. If you ask my opponent, he says that I am unqualified to run for the Board of Supervisors. Let me tell you why I'm unqualified to run for the Board of Supervisors. He lives in the most protected zip code in my county. I live in the most unprotected. When my water bill goes up, he doesn't worry about how to pay the water bills going up, just like none of you guys do. Well, I'm sorry. When your water bill goes up, when the people in Kern County's water bill goes up, I freak out too. I have 4 children. I've lived in my community my entire life. I'm a 3rd generation Kern County resident. My grandfather built the freeway. My grandmother was a librarian. On my other side, how do I win Kern County? Because I have an immigrant story too. My grandfather was a guerrilla fighter in World War II. He fought against the Japanese invasion of his homeland. My grandmother, illiterate housewife, couldn't spell her own name. They both died Americans. My mom was a child laborer at 6 years old, walked 7 miles every day to the fields, worked 8 hours, and walked home at 7 years old. My grandparents did the best they could. At 11, she dropped out of school after my grandparents rejected an offer for someone to buy her. 13, child war bride, whole new country at 17. She's been a homeowner for 40 years, business owner for 30, and a proud American for over 50 years of her life. My 4 children go to the same elementary school that's been educating my family for 60 years in Kern County. My 5-year-old son is in the same classroom that I was in for kindergarten. I'm part of my community. I've represented it at every level of competition, from everything from the science fair, when I proved that some glues were stronger than the others, and the stock market game in 1998 when I beat 1,300 other junior high schools and making money in the stock market. I've done everything from sports to cleanups, all of it. I've spoken at 7 school boards in Kern County against mandates, and I've demanded our children have the right to take the mask off their damn face. I just recently had an opportunity to interview for the endorsement for the SEIU, the County Workers Union. I spoke about nothing but being a libertarian. I even advocated privatization to them. Over 50% of them voted yes for me, not quite the 2/3 margin, but I proved that libertarianism matters and works to everybody. Our county has 5 our county has 5 California Republican assemblies, 4 of which have endorsed me and not the Republican opponent. I'm gonna win my office, not because I'm qualified, because I'm from some kind of connected family. My opponent's aunt is the district attorney. He's broken rules on every campaign that he's ran, and nothing happens. Why? Because he comes from a political dynasty that people are sick and tired of seeing. I'm gonna win because everything that I do, I live the consequences of my actions and inactions, not like my current opponent who doesn't suffer any of the consequences from not having police in small communities. I waited for 2.5 hours while a woman accosted me over the color of my skin for a police officer to show up. But this man, within 20 minutes, has 6 law enforcement agencies that live within his house, within 5 miles of his house. It's ridiculous. And I'm gonna go back to, we're fighting for the small women, the small man, the small women, and the small businessmen, the women and children of these small communities that don't speak English and they need to be heard. I think that the whole point of elected officials is to give dissenting voices, opinions. We look out for the small man, not the majority they don't need looking out for.
Thank you. And I think you're...
Vote for me, endorse me. My website is cardenforkern.com, www.carden4kern.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think I forgot something, so I am going to do it now, even though we just heard everybody. I did the standing second for the suspension of the rules. I didn't do a standing second for the endorsement, which is a technicality that I didn't do. So could I please have 19 people stand? At least. Okay, and I did forget to do that. And I can't believe I remembered that I forgot. Okay. We've got the standing second. We've already done the thing, so now we are going to a vote. All those in favor of endorsement for Mr. Carden for County Supervisor in Kern County, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? You are endorsed. Thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you for running. And I see a delegate.
Hi, Rachel Nix, LA County. I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules to have the endorsement of the Medical Freedom LA initiative in Los Angeles to overturn the vaccine mandates.
Thank you. Is this a single motion to suspend and endorse?
Yes.
Okay. All of those that are willing to second that, we need 19 people to stand.
Damn right.
Thank you very much. It's been seconded with a standing second. All those in favor of endorsement of the Medical Freedom Initiative in Los Angeles City, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Wow, libertarians. Okay, it passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the people.
And once again, if you're in Los Angeles City, please sign the initiative. If you are in the surrounding areas, or even if you're not, you can volunteer to help. So, okay, so we are still waiting for this. Apparently is a very hard thing to count because there's a lot of people and all of that. I see nobody at the mics. So I think this might be a good time for us to all get up close and personal and start shifting so that they're going to be able to close that air wall at 4 o'clock, which is in 7 minutes. The more we're prepared, the better we are to have this happen seamlessly. They'll be here at 4 o'clock to do the thing. One thing I need is that projector and the cords moved so they can close the air wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put us in recess. Or no, well, yeah. Okay. Can I just stand us at ease? Because we're going to all be still kind of wandering around. Once we do the thing, I want to get right back to business. So rather than a recess, let's all stay close so that when I say we're back in order from at ease, everybody comes rushing back to be up close and personal. It's a good thing we all love each other, right? Because we're going to be up close and personal over here.
Right here.
They go over here, and the one thing we fucked up on, my fault, we were supposed to take those with us at lunch because you can't leave. Yeah. Just put them in the envelopes. This one there, so it's nothing. It's not your fault. Huh? I know,
I don't think so.
I already told you.
Madam Chair?
Okay, you know what? I'm
Can
gonna
we move
ask the delegates over from here over to do a thing, and we're at ease right now.
Well, do we move the chairs, or how does that? Or
What?
Do we move chairs to bring over to the other side, or how would that?
You can take some chairs over. The other thing is, a suggestion was made, if there are empty chairs over here where nobody's been sitting, raise your hands to let people sit next to you. You know, especially we've got, you know, some people that maybe need to sit, yeah. Right there and there. So yeah, it'll just make it a little bit easier to make sure that, you know, people can sit. That's fine, where it is, so you're not doing anything. And the other thing that I'm going to ask is that, yes, you can move your chairs. Just keep in mind, do you see that track there in the thing? That's where the wall is going to close. So don't put chairs in this aisleway, because or else we won't have an aisle at all. We're going to have not much of an aisle over there. This is going to be our only aisle. Let's just hope the fire marshal doesn't show up. We're libertarians, we don't care, but we might get in trouble. And we won't. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to, we're at ease, I could say it. Nobody's going to give a shit. All right, so yeah, we're at ease.
But that was such an iconic moment during that Zoom meeting where Nick just walked away and never came back. One of my favorite memories. It was a core memory. I'm still so impressed from Alex Merced day 1 to Alex Merced day 4.
I love the pictures.
The memes were great.
But Alex came of age during that 3 days.
Oh yeah, no, what a turnaround.
He grew into that job.
Yeah, he
But
by day 4,
initially-
that dude was a champ. Oh my
Initially,
God.
he had a problem the first day. He didn't want to do anything that could conceivably exclude the online participants.
Well, there was a lot of misinformation of what people were trying to do. Yeah. So, one second. James, do I need to move my stuff? James, do I need to?
Leave it like this. It's going to move the stage down.
Okay.
Leave it just like this.
For the rest of it?
Yeah.
Okay, I probably have space.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. I mean, I'm, you know, all that alcohol that people keep buying me. Yeah. I haven't even eaten this weekend. I literally had Mimi's table scraps at the gala last night. Well, no, you didn't. I paid for the business-only free package.
So did I, but I was still in there.
Well, you're a volunteer. That's different.
Hasn't he done our last 2 or 3 conventions?
I think all of them since I became a member. Yeah. He does our county one. He does our LA County ones too. You're doing a great job, by the way.
Did Mimi go outside?
So much this weekend.
Yeah. So everyone outside is like really focused on something, and I'm just really curious what it is, and I can't leave. So if someone in the back just wants to tell me what they're all cheering about, I would appreciate it.
It's a ballot initiative for a new vice chair.
Good. I just take this opportunity to kick Mimi out of office, just completely take over the party.
You're gonna need, does anybody know where they are counting the votes so I can find out how close we are to getting the votes counted? Does anybody, has anybody seen them? Did they disappear? Did they get abducted by aliens? Susan in the back is pointing, but I don't know where she's pointing or to whom.
Well, now I just heard her say it.
I looked over there, I didn't see him there, I looked over there. Does anybody know? I think we might have had an alien abduction. That would be scary.
Did you say insurrection?
Abduction.
Oh.
An alien abduction.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, as the vice chair, it's my responsibility to overturn the election.
Alrighty.
Vice chair, I named Donald Trump the new at-large.
Okay, so we're here, we're cozy. There's a lot of people still not in here, which is kind of scary. Is there anything else? So the rest of the agenda, just so everybody knows, and I'm not really back in order yet because I'm still kind of trying to figure out what the heck is going on. But what we have left is once we get these election results, so long as it is on the first ballot, we will be going to the next elections, which will be alternate at large, followed by the Judicial Committee and Judicial Committee alternates, followed by Libertarian National Committee election, or not National Committee, you know, that's a typo. It is not the committee, it is the representative, an alternate representative. And then last but not least, and this is a good time to mention this, if you have not done your ballots for the national delegates, you'll want to get those in, because once business is closed, the ballots are closed. So you might want to do that. Is there any other business that anybody would like to bring before the body? No. Well, you know, I can actually say that I've received 3 emails from him today.
I was worried he was like in a ditch somewhere.
No. Okay, funny true story, we're still at ease. He started sending me emails where he's copying different other party county chairs, Democrat county chairs, Republican county chairs, and all of those county chairs are writing back saying, I've told you before, take me off your mailing list. And he never does. And one of them said, I've asked you numerous times, take me off your mailing list. We have nothing further to discuss. And he immediately followed back with an email copying all, saying how he's sorry that she's offended. However, she's a public figure, and he's going to keep emailing her whether she likes it or not. So if he's watching this live stream, you go, James. You know the real math. Yes, yes. Okay, so we do have something that we could do, which is an announcement. And I've been told it's about 3 minutes before they're going to be back over here. I'm going to let him go first and then you, okay?
So for you, those of you who have not seen it already, we've got an exhibit out there, the Historical Preservation Committee table, and there are some new things since we had the display last year. We've acquired a copy of the very earliest state newsletter for California. It was called Libertale, and it was published in 1972. There are copies of those issues out there. And we're looking for help we've got pretty much all of the state newsletters, we know about them, but we don't have information about what's been going on for the last 50 years in all of your counties. So if you've got old newsletters, minutes of your meetings, photographs of your activities, information about who ran for office, who won election. All of those kinds of things we'd like to add to the history of the Libertarian Party in California. So if you haven't had a chance yet, visit the table out there. And please, if you've got any information about what's been going on in your county, we'd love to have you share it with everybody through our website where we post all these things. So thank you.
Keeping our history is very important. It's takes a lot of work to do that. Ms. Callender.
I would just like to thank you and the teams that are working on this convention for the excellent job. You're amazingly relaxed looking, although you could be exhausted. But it's been wonderful, everything from the video and the audio and even the hotel staff, everything is working great from my point of view, and I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. Right now, we're still at ease, so. By the way, we're still at ease, we're not back to order. That's why I was telling about James Ogle. If we were in business, I wouldn't have done that, so.
Hey everybody, me again. For absolutely free, you could help me win my campaign by just visiting my website and helping the algorithm, lima4hayward.us. If you're feeling even more generous, visit lima4hayward.us/donate, and we can make Liberty win in the Bay Area in a great way. Thank you.
Well,
Give you a supporter level, so.
Yes. Okay, one more time for those that didn't get it completely. It's lima4hayward.us. Okay. Okay. You know, I have another thing that I could say that's just a thing. You know, we've got about 200 people here, plus minus, right? And it would be really swell if we had money to support our candidates, like Mr. Lima, like those in Hanford, like Mr. Cardin, like Supervisor Hewitt, who is running for re-election this year, which, by the way, I do not believe we've endorsed, by the way. But you know what would be super cool is if everybody in this room went to ca.lp.org and clicked donate and did a monthly donation of, the minimum is 10. It's $10 a month. That's like 2 Starbucks coffees a month. And if you did that with 200 people in the room, I know how to do math sometimes, but not right this second, but it would be a shit ton of money. So if you pull out your phones right now, you can do this thing, and you can support the party, you can support our candidates. All the money would go to the Candidate Support Committee, which is going to be going toward both the candidates we have, as well as the recruitment that we're doing. We've got a lot of low-hanging fruit in the state this year. Our executive director, who is absolutely fabulous, has put together a database with all of the races throughout the year. Many of them, they're not filing yet. We also have Ms. Stump, who has also put together lists for counties in the north area. Absolutely. Okay, so there's that list, which is for these unelected voluntary positions that are probably available. And again, low-hanging fruit to get your foot in the door, to progress up. Then we also have, again, the Candidate Support Committee, where we have a list of, I believe, somewhere in the neighborhood of 6,000 offices that are up for election this year throughout the state. Other states have had very good success with this. So I'm really hoping that, and if you can't swing $10 a month, just do a one-time $10 donation. That right there would help us. So if y'all could do that, that'd be swell. You know, you've got this downtime. You could do it right this second on your phones. And we're still not really back in order because I was told 3 minutes for the vote to come back in here. So if you're at the mic, you can just talk. You can't make motions.
Oh, wait.
So I was going to say point of information, I'll just ask the question. Is there a calendar on the LPC website where candidates and others can post their events and upcoming meetings and other things they might want other libertarians to be aware of and attend?
Actually, and you know, I'm going to bring this up because it's been a little bit of an issue. We've been going through transitions with our webmaster. We're getting things on track. The calendar has not been kept up as well as it should be, but it's going to be being kept up. So if you have events for your counties, if candidates have events that you'd like listed on our calendar, please email both of these, webmaster@ca.lp.org as well as xd@ca.lp.org. And that's like X like X-ray, D like doctor. And that's for the executive director. And we will be able to put those on our calendar.
Would that also be the place to email to let them know that we want more participatory ability with the calendar, more transparency, people being able to post stuff, or who should that be directed to try to get that made more interactive so our website is more useful for advancing freedom?
I'd suppose you could do it to the webmaster. You could also do it to the executive committee. You can also do it to me, and I can bring it to the executive committee if there's something that we need to do that way. But yeah, I don't know if we're gonna, but right now for this moment, that's how you do the thing that you asked for before. And it looks to me like we are back in order, I think.
Just one question here. Yeah, for those of us who want to make donations by check, what is the best way to do that?
You can send your check donations to 770 L Street. It's on our website. 770 L Street, Suite 950, Sacramento, California 95.
It's on the website. Do you have I think National has one where you can also download a sheet to go in.
You can do that. There is a downloadable donation sheet on our website. If you go to donate, it gives you an option to download a donation sheet.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We are back in order, as I said, at 4:19. And I need the results. Oh. Okay, do we have winners or? Yeah. Okay, everybody, so, okay, and everybody that won got a majority, correct? Okay. All right, so we do have 5 winners from this election. We have, in descending order, yeah, I just wanted to make sure what CM was. So that's okay. Chris Minoletti with 118 votes. Michael Lima with 108 votes. Gary Alvstad, sorry, with 100 votes. Oh, actually, I should have gone JC. Gia Christopher with 101, Gary Alvstad with 100, and Jessica Tewksbury with 96. Those are the winners. The remainder of the votes were 69 for Zach Foster, 61 for Wendy Hewitt, 43 for Rajani Miatico, 29 for, Oh, Dennis Bolillo, yes. Bolillo, yes, sorry. Okay, so there's that. The total number of ballots were 157. So 79 was a majority. Congratulations to those people. So the next item on the agenda will be the nominations will open for at-large alternate. There are 2 positions. They serve for 1 year. Oh, there's one other thing I should mention. One other thing. 4 of those seats are for 2-year terms, and 1 of those seats is for a 1-year term to finish out the term that was vacated from the last. So the person that is on the 1-year term is Jessica Tewksbury, and the other 4 are going to be serving 2-year terms. Okay, so I am opening nominations from the floor for at-large alternate. Yes, sir.
Hello, everybody. We meet again. I would like to nominate Victoria Lepacek. She went to every single executive committee meeting last year with me and was a joy to be around. She's extremely passionate, and she wants to get her feet wet this year and actually be an alternate. Victoria, as a person, is extremely hardworking. She gives back to the LP with volunteering. Right now, she currently coaches youth cheerleading, and she feeds the homeless every month with me with the Salvation Army. Victoria is an amazing pick for this, and I enthusiastically nominate her for at-large alternate. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Victoria Lepacek. Today, I am running for at-large alternate. My home base is in Alameda County, where I currently hold an at-large position. I'm very active in my community and truly find a huge importance in growing a strong foundation for liberty at a local level, because that's where it all starts. I'm very enthusiastic and excited to support and get more libertarians elected in the upcoming county and city elections. My goal is to bring this energy and make an impact at the state level with like-minded people. I've grown very fond of the state executive committee and have participated as much as they've graciously allowed. I look forward to spending liberty and growing this party, and I'm very much ready to work. Please vote for me.
Thank you.
Angela McArdle from LA County. I nominate Terry Miller to be an at-large alternate. Terry's been working really hard this weekend, which I really appreciate. Definitely please give him a thank you for all the work that he's done as a volunteer for the convention committee.
Thank you.
And I just think that he's a great, hardworking, agreeable guy who works well with everyone, and I will be delighted to work with him too.
I'm not sure how to follow that up. I think more people know who I am than I thought did. All right, well, cool. Most of you know I'm from Orange County. I could go into all the platitudes of the things that I do and all that good stuff. Long story short, I'm dedicated. You know I'll do it. I'm committed to the task, and whatever you need, I'll get it done. Yeah, I feel a little, anyways. Thanks, everybody. I think with that, I'll yield my time.
Thank you. Thank you. Are there any additional nominations for at-large or alternate? Okay, I'm not seeing any further nomination. I am seeing, yes, sir.
I'd like to nominate myself, Richard Fast, for alternate. Thank you.
Okay. Any additional nominations for at-large alternate? Seeing none, we will close nominations. Once again, you're voting, everybody is voting, you are voting for 2 people for 2 positions, both one-year positions. We have 3 nominees, plus NOTA is always an option. If you vote for NOTA, you can't vote for anybody else. And,
Point of personal privilege, ma'am?
yes.
Can you scroll back up for just 1 second there, Secretary? Back to where the nominations were. So something that we learned from last time, some of you like to write the name on the right-hand side, which is the name of the person who nominated them. The names on the left-hand side are the actual candidates. Please write the names of the candidates because we counted all of the ones that you wrote on the right-hand side as write-ins, not as actual votes for the person you were probably trying to vote for. And then second, you guys can all spell Turksbury correctly, but you can't spell Lima correctly. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
And actually, I wasn't sure why those names were over there. I was confused. So I should announce that we had write-ins for 4 for Richard Fast. We had 2 for David Naranjo. We had 1 for Dave Schrader. We had, did I say 2 for Victoria Lepechek? And 1 for Adrian Malagon, who's already Northern Area Coordinator, so.
Madam Chair, request for information.
Yes.
Would it be in order at any point for us to simply open nominations for JC without closing them until the at-large alternate votes are counted?
We could do that.
I would love to do that. Do I need to
But
make a
can
motion?
we first do the thing with this thing, and then we can do that thing?
Absolutely.
Because first we got to vote.
Yes, thanks.
So, okay, so everybody, you're going to be voting again. You are, as I said, you're voting for up to 2 names. Can you show them again? You're going to be putting up to 2 names, or you're going to be putting NOTA, not NOTA and anybody else, just NOTA, or, and by the way, there's been no NOTAs that I've seen today, which is really weird for a libertarian convention. Okay. All right. So if everybody could please vote.